Last night was the best example ever of why Bill O'Brien's tough guy act is the biggest fraud going in the NFL. What's Bill O'Brien most famous for? Getting into Tom Brady's face. When he was an offensive coordinator in New England, he was the play caller, and Tom Brady didn't like something, and he came over on the sideline, and they were yelling at one another, and Bill O'Brien was yelling and pointing at Tom Brady, screaming at him, and everybody said, oh, look at this. This guy is standing up for what's right. Yeah, even Tom Brady can't railroad him. And at that time, I was working in Boston. I said, who's Bill O'Brien? Tom Brady's a Hall of Famer. Tom Brady's one of the greats of all time. Who's Bill O'Brien? No, DA, it's a coach. You've got to respect the coach. I don't care if it's Tom Brady or not. That shows a coach's fire. Oh, yeah? Well, where was that coaching fire last night when on 4th down with 3 minutes to play and no timeouts, you punted the football? Where was that tough guy act? Bill O'Brien yells at Brock Osweiler in the meeting room. Bill O'Brien is short with the media. Bill O'Brien doesn't let anybody get too close to this program. Bill O'Brien curses on Hard Knocks. You know, I have friends that cover the Houston Texans and those that are very close to that organization. And since Bill O'Brien's taken over, it was night and day between him and Kubiak. When Kubiak was there, there was an open-air, friendly vibe. Everybody's working together. When Bill O'Brien took over, it was close the doors. Don't tell anybody anything. It's all about us, and we hate everybody else. And it's just a punk, fake, tough guy act from Bill O'Brien because it's easy to belittle the media. It's easy. It's happening all the time, both general, political, sports-wise. It's easy to belittle us. We're the least popular people on the planet right now. It's easy to shut the doors and tell everybody, we've got a chip on our shoulder and we're mad. It's easy when you're the employer and you can yell at the employee, you don't get it, do it my way. But when the rubber hit the road last night, who was the tough guy? Was it Jack Del Rio, who on 4th down went for it to ice the game? Or was it tough guy Bill O'Brien that punted away because, gosh, I don't know if we can get the first down, and maybe we can just hold them. And even though we don't have a timeout left, I think maybe we can do this. Bill O'Brien's fake tough guy act is getting real old because beyond being a fake tough guy, because he doesn't actually show it on the field, he's the type of guy that throws the pass to J.J. Watt instead of, DeAndre Hopkins or anybody else that's paid to catch passes. He'd rather do that. He'd rather throw to Dwayne Brown instead of, guys that are actually paid to catch. But beyond all that, Bill O'Brien, once again, doesn't know how to manage a football game because Bill O'Brien didn't challenge on 3rd down when he should have. Wasn't his fault that he lost a bad challenge on 4th down there. Punted away with no timeouts left. And then also tried to challenge a play that was unchallengeable and probably should have led to losing a timeout of the DeAndre Hopkins would-be touchdown. Now, yeah, maybe the referee screwed that up. But again, here's the thing. Bill O'Brien, you can't challenge that because then you lose a timeout. And they're real lucky they didn't lose a timeout there. So Bill O'Brien can stomp and snort. Oh, man, I'm a football coach. But when it mattered, I didn't see no spine. I didn't see no tough guy. I didn't see no stones. I saw a guy punt away the football down 7 with no timeouts to spare. Not very tough at all. Meantime, what's the potential of these two teams? Well, I think that for the Texans, we'll see a wild card Saturday, and then we won't see the divisional round. I don't know who's going to catch them in the AFC South. The Colts now have an injury and a concussion to Andrew Luck. You've got the Tennessee Titans that might end up winning it, but I don't know if they're a better football team than the Texans. We know the Jaguars aren't going to do anything. So I have a sinking feeling, a sinking suspicion we're going to see a game in Houston on Wild Card Saturday. I believe that'll be the ESPN 4:30 Eastern kick, right? That's the first game of Wild Card Saturday, which is almost now a tradition unlike any other. Wild Card Saturday in Houston. Where else would you rather be? So give me the Broncos laying the 4 on the road in Houston. Wild Card Saturday. Give me the Chiefs laying the 3 going there. Whatever that's going to be, I'll take the road team. But I think they're probably going to win that division. Although I'd rather see Tennessee because at least they're a little bit more interesting. This Texans team is going to lay down to the playoffs. They're not good enough to win a game. The Oakland Raiders are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. I don't think they're at the place in their progression and their growth where they can go to Foxborough and win in the playoffs. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think they're ready for that yet. But if they had the AFC Championship game in Oakland, well, the Patriots haven't won a road playoff game since 2006. Patriots haven't won on the road in January since the Marlon McCree game against the San Diego Chargers, where everybody's dancing at midfield and the lights out thing. And they should have lost that game because Marlon McCree intercepts the football and should have just taken a knee there. But instead he tries to run it back. And that's when Troy Brown strips him. Patriots get it back. The Patriots end up winning that football game. But that gets Marty Schottenheimer fired. Look, could Oakland win an AFC title game at home? Maybe. I mean, they still have to win a divisional game at home in the playoffs. And if that's against a division rival like Denver, like Kansas City, I mean, who knows what happens? If it's Baltimore on the road or something like that, or the Steelers come back to win the division, again, all bets are off, I think. But the Oakland Raiders, week by week, you can't help but be impressed because the Raiders don't ever play like they're a team that hasn't been here before. Maybe this is just plucky, dumb luck where they don't know that they shouldn't be ready for this. But the Raiders, even if they don't play a very good football game, like 23 penalties, or last night Derek Carr had basically 2.5 bad quarters, gosh, when it matters, they come up with plays. And sometimes it feels a little lucky, but last night it wasn't lucky. Broken coverages by the Texans. The Raiders sniffed it out. For some reason, the Texans stopped covering running backs out of the backfield, then couldn't tackle Amari Cooper, and Derek Carr made throws that he had to make. And there is that fire, there is that leadership, there is that moxie that Carr so obviously has that so many young quarterbacks fail to grasp. There is a leadership and a fire and a want that Carr has that spills over, and the team might be getting it from Del Rio, might be getting it from its quarterback, might be getting it from its general manager, who overhauled the entire roster. But boy, Raiders team is good, man. And they're fun, and they're young, and it's just the beginning, and they don't realize they shouldn't be winning this many games yet. They're 8-2, tied with the Patriots. Strength of schedule, they're actually the 1 seed right now.